Hey, James Miller here, coming from Fort Worth, Texas. You can follow me on Twitter at James Miller Live. You can also check out my blog at compounderdevelopment.com. Today, I'd like to talk to you about college. In fact, I got my college degree right behind me, and I'm pretty proud of graduating from college, but not like most people. See, I'm pretty proud that I graduated early. The reason why I graduated in 3 years was the fact that when I was in school, I started to question whether what I was learning was actually going to benefit me in the real world. And now that I've let some time pass and I've started to pay down that debt, that I accumulated because of school, I started to think about, did I actually learn anything in college? And I found 5 things, 5 lessons that I learned from college. So here they are. Number 1 is it doesn't matter what school you go to. And there's probably a lot of people out there screaming and yelling, yes, it does, it has to. I'm going to be honest, it doesn't. Because once you get out of school, and you go to your first interviews, you're going to be interviewing with people who went to schools with higher pedigrees and lower pedigrees, and all that the employer is going to care about is which one of you is going to has the highest skills so you can produce the most for their company or the school district or whatever you're trying to get into. That's all they care about. Okay, so it's not about what school you go to, it's about the skills that you have. Number 2 is it's all about who you meet in college. Okay, and this is probably the most important reason to go to college is you can meet so many people. There are tens of thousands of kids going to school these days. It's crazy. But the benefit is if you go, you can meet so many people, and the broader that you spread your network, the more people you meet, the better chance you have to reach the top of whatever field you're looking to get into. So no matter whether you're in school now or even, this is actually a lifelong lesson that you should take with you, is you need to meet as many people as you can, build as many relationships as you can, quality relationships, and then benefit from it. It's pretty simple, and that was probably my number 1 thing from college. Number 3 is it's just unacceptable to graduate in 5. And I know that today the average student is graduating in 5 years, and that's just mind-boggling. Why? Because I learned real quick that the tuition just keeps piling up. The longer you go to school, the more it's going to cost you. The more it's going to cost you, the more debt you're going to be in, and the bigger hole you're going to have to dig yourself out of once you leave. But most importantly, more than the debt, is you get to lose out on 1 year of real-world experience, 1 year of working in an actual real-world job, 1 year being a real-world entrepreneur, 1 year of really dealing with real money. Instead of the pennies that you get, you get a few. You actually have some cash that you have to learn how to handle, and you don't get that from any class that you take at the universities. I don't care what class. There's not a class out there that can give you real world experience. There just isn't. So, and if you graduated in 5, that's how it worked out. I know I have family members, friends, plenty of people who graduate in 5 and they did the best they can, and that's fine. But at this point, do not let your college habits carry over into your future. The more you complete, the more you can complete. That's just how it works, right? Number 4 is college was not the best time of your life. Now, you are a young person, right? So you're probably saying, oh yeah, it was. Of my life thus far, it was the greatest time of my life. So you're probably right. But over an actual lifetime, I would hope that you're not going to look back and say that college was the best time of your life. Why? For one, you're probably poor. Okay, I know I was. 2, you were left with debt, because I know I was, and mass majority of people are left with tons and tons of debt, right? So how is that the best time of your life if you are poor and you're left with debt? Now I know that plenty of people it's going to be really fun, and it was fun, right? And I know you're going to meet some lifelong friends. I know I did. But there's got to be a better time in life than when you were poor and got into debt. And if I know there's some people who like to live in the glory days, but for the rest of us who are trying to actually achieve something in this lifetime, the best times are yet to come. Number 5 is masters doesn't always make sense. In fact, for me, it didn't make sense at all, right? But I understand that if you're looking to get into becoming a doctor or a lawyer, then it does make sense to go into a postgraduate school. But if you're looking to be a salesperson, if you're looking to be an entrepreneur, you're looking to get into business, then it really just doesn't make sense to get in that MBA unless your goal in life is to get in as much debt as possible. I mean, if you want to dig a bigger hole for yourself, go ahead, but I just wouldn't recommend it. I mean, let's go back to what I said earlier, in that the real world cares about who you know and the skills that you have. And then in this information age today, there's just so much information out there. There's no reason to go and get yourself into deeper debt just to do so. With that, those were my 5 lessons that I learned from college, and I know that college brings a lot of value to a lot of people, and it did me as well. I'm not going to lie and say that it didn't. I grew a lot in college, but now I'm looking back at college, all I can remember and see is that I had this degree that piles up dust on my desk. And it probably does the same for a lot of other people. And the truth is, for us, for you or anybody you know who's looking to become successful, the reality is that if you want to become successful, you have to separate yourself from everybody else. And the people who separate themselves are the people who actually learn how to educate themselves after college. And I'm not talking about masters or MBA or anything else like that. I'm talking about personal development, and that doesn't just mean of yourself, but also in any field that you're looking to get into. So it's time to start to develop the habits, skills, and the mentality of the successful. And how do you do that? You retrain your brain. How do you retrain your brain? And to be honest with you, to find out more, you're going to have to go to my blog at compoundyourdevelopment.com and follow me on Twitter at JamesMillerLive. And with that, the last question I'd like to ask you is, what did you learn in college? And, did it benefit you in the real world, or did it not? With that, I'm James Miller, and I'm out.